Evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining on time. So let's get started. So we are starting the very first webinar of the year with keeping in mind the importance of the start of the year. So our webinar is focusing on plan a successful academic year with clarity and purpose. And one more important thing I want to say to all the participants who are attending the entire webinar till the end and fill the feedback form will receive a participation certificate from Varthana. So please stay throughout the webinar and fill the feedback form because we value our time as well. So let's get quickly started. We'll start with an introduction and session objectives. We'll also look about why planning is important, what are the key milestones and timelines, and we'll also explore about Varthana programs, and then we'll close with the feedback. So for introduction, I'm just going to quickly launch a poll to understand the participant profile. So if you're a school leader or school coordinator, teacher, whatever is your designation, please select that and submit. So 70% of the people have voted. I request everyone to please vote. I'm going to launch the poll, publish the result. So as you can see, there are more number of teachers are there and quite a good number of coordinators and school leaders are there. I welcome all of you once again. So let's get started. So if you look at the objective for today's session, we have three main objectives for today's session. One is to understand why planning is important and how it's going to help in your academic excellence, and what are the key milestones and timelines for effective year execution, and also to understand how Varthana's academic program is going to support you throughout the year to make sure your academic is excellent in the way you want. So these are the three objectives we are going to cover. So let's start with a quick discussion. So let's all do a small imaginative activity. Let's think this is the last day of this academic year, like 2025 ka last day is today, and as a school leader or a very proud teacher, what would make you say yes, this was a successful year? What is that one thing which will tell you that yes, this year was successful? I'm going to launch a poll. I have given multiple options. You can select that option. If you feel there is some other point which is not mentioned in the poll, you can put it in the Q&A box as well. So what is that one thing which will tell you or which will make you feel yes, this year was the best year, a successful year? I could see people are voting. I request everyone to read all the options and give your opinion. 35% of people have voted, so I'll wait for everyone to vote. So I request all the participants to please be engaging for today's session. I'm going to publish the result to all of you. So here most of you said strong student learning outcome. Absolutely right. If we feel that every child in your school is having a better learning outcome, that was a successful year. And some of you mentioned about smooth school operation, which is very, very essential. Some of you mentioned about positive school culture, successful implementation of all the things you have, NEP, so many things you have mentioned. So thank you all for sharing your input. I'm going to hide the result. There are a lot many things, like everybody has your opinion about like what will or what factor will make you say yes, this was a successful year, right? So now that you know what did this mean to be successful, what is success for your academic institution, now let's come back to this date, right? You have one full academic year to achieve that particular success. So what is now needed? A proper planning is needed. So it will help you to make sure everything runs smoothly and achieve your goal. So let's quickly look at a case study about why planning is important and what happens if there is no proper planning. So this is a private school which is called Green Valley School. So because last year they had given a very, very good board exam result, suddenly all the parents in the community wanted admission in from that particular school. So there was quite a good amount of increase in admission. The management was very happy, excited. So there were only one session before. Now they added A, B, C, 3 sessions, and they've hired new teachers as well. But what they didn't think through is that they didn't understand whether the infrastructure is supportive for the new admission, what are the adjustments they have to make in timetable, or whether our staff has the full capacity to manage the new admission. They didn't think through. So what happened is that in between the year, in say for example in September or October itself, classroom becomes overcrowded because the infrastructure was not accompanying the new admission. Since there were quite a new number of teachers were hired, they didn't have proper training. They have to start from scratch. All the other old teachers, they know the rhythm and frequency, but new teachers, they didn't have any training or support. Because of that, there was some decline in education and parents started raising concern. And within 1 year, what happened is that there was a 15% dropout in that following year itself, right? The school has put so much of effort to achieve the board exam, and they got that immediate growth, but then that was not sustainable, right? There was a sudden decrease in the following year itself. So now keep this case study in mind. Now, as a school leader, why do you think this happens? What did the school, where did the school go wrong? Or what is your reflection? What is your opinion? They put a lot of effort to get that result, and they got that immediate outcome, but they couldn't maintain it. They couldn't sustain it. What went wrong? Thank you so much. So if you observe this case study, what is your reflection? Where did they go wrong, or what they should have done better? Any inputs? Show you the case study as well. So this is the case study. So you can read what went wrong. Like classroom become overcrowded, teacher didn't have proper training, and parents raised concern, and there was a decrease in decrease in enrollment. Any reflections? Anyone? So you can put down your point in Q&A. I'm just going to go towards my reflection. The very first thing is that when there is a growth, there should be a proper planning. If there is no proper planning, it will create a lot of chaos, and that will impact your quality. That's why the parents have been just whoever wanted to admit the child in that particular school, now they are removing the child from the school because there is a decline in education quality they have sensed. Second, planning also helps you to have a clear academic and operations that will help the school to run in smooth. Third thing, planning also helps to gain parent trust. Why? Parent knows what's going to come next, what's going to happen in the next few months, when is things going to happen. So they know everything. All the stakeholders know what is going to happen next. So that will help you to achieve your success. This is why we are saying planning is very, very crucial. That too, in the start of academic year, it's non-negotiable. You have to have the entire academic plan ready so that your school runs very, very smoothly. And today's session, we'll deep dive into how to do planning. So basically, planning is that it will help you to set the goals, what are the tasks to be achieved, and how much resources required to achieve that task. Everything you can set it before itself so that all the outcome is achieved efficiently and effectively. So for a school to plan one academic year ahead is such a huge thing, right? So for that, you should, somebody has mentioned many answers. Ajay sir and Meha ma'am, and there is one more thing. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for your input. So for a school to plan one academic year, it's going to be very tough task. So to reduce that tough task and make it simple, first what you have to do is that you have to identify timelines and what are the milestones you're going to achieve in that particular timeline. So let's say in a year. So here I'm considering my school is getting started in April and ends in March, right? It may be vary for your school, but I'm just taking one sample. So now this is the timeline. Now, what is milestone? What I'm going to achieve in every month. So April, I'll be focusing on finalizing the curriculum and setting the goal for the academic year. May, I'll make sure my teachers are prepared for the upcoming year. They are making sure the remedial material is ready. Why remedial is ready? Because the children is going to come to school after 2 months. So there is absolutely going to be some learning gap. So that must be addressed by remedials. We'll deep dive each one. Now I'll just show you the theme here. June, I'll start with a baseline assessment to understand is there any learning decline or learning gap because of that summer vacation. July, I'll do one parent orientation. Tell parents what is the goal for this year and why this bridge learning is important, where this child is standing. In August, what I'll do, I'll make sure my teachers, my students are getting prepared for the exams. And I'll also observe my teacher, how are they performing in the classroom. I'll do classroom observation, I'll give feedback, all of those things I'll make sure so that the entire teacher and students are ready for the exams. September, before moving on to the exam, I'll do one PTA meeting to have a meeting with the parent to tell them that by my classroom observation, I'll just tell them that how much a child performance has been improved from the baseline assessment to now and what is their support required for the upcoming exam. In October, I'll focus on the exam and there'll be a lot of festivals coming, right? I'll plan ahead. I'll try to integrate those exams, festivals and holidays together. November, again, once exams are done, now I'll look upon is there any child need extra support who is lacking behind, and I'll do remedials for them. December, I'll start doing the final examination preparation and term exam preparation. I'll do teacher review. I'll do one more planning if there are any deviation so that I can correct it. Jan, I'll do revision. So my final year end, whatever strategy I have, I'll implement all the strategy here. I'll do revision so that the end of the day, the student learning outcome is improved. February, I'll finally wrap up all these things, and March, exams are conducted, results are, the results are gained. And now I'll do some reflection. What happened? Like April, whatever I set the goal, have I achieved it? What went wrong? If there is anything wrong, how should I improve in the next year? So the next year planning starts. So this is how you have to put down each and every milestones for the timelines. Now we'll deep dive each and everything. So here I'm going to focus on the first few months, since April and July are the very, very crucial month where you set the entire foundation right here, right? So April, curriculum and goal setting. May, it's about teacher preparation and remedial planning. June, it's reopening and baseline. July is parent orientation and bridge learning. We'll go through one by one. So curriculum and goal setting. Why we have to do in the start of the academic year? When you start an academic year, you know what happened last year. What do you want to achieve this year? What are the areas you want to focus? Which curriculum you want to start with, right? If you don't do this, the teacher will not have any clear direction. Okay, when I don't have any goal, I don't know what to achieve. I'll just come to class, I'll teach, I'll move out. That's all. The learning becomes very scattered. There is nothing to track or progress again. So what can you do to avoid all these things, right? First, what you can do, you have to prepare an academic calendar and a year plan. This is what I'm going to do in every month. Go as much as detail you can so that you are giving importance to every single milestone and there is no deviation or any loopholes. Second, you have to have a goals for each and every grade, not just 10th or board exam grade, but every grade, so that your teachers, all the teachers are like very efficiently looking at those goals and preparing themselves. Third, whatever you're planning with respect to curriculum, involve your teachers because they are the one who is going to go teach inside the classroom. So they should know what is happening with respect to curriculum. Fourth one, make sure all your assessment is aligned with the learning outcome. It shouldn't be like simple book back assessment, but whatever learning your outcome you want to achieve, make sure you have assessment, you have certain way to track and monitor that. So this is what April is all about. Now let's jump into May. May, as I said, teacher preparation is very, very, very important. Why? Because this is the last 1 month they have before the school starts. So they can prepare themselves. So if a teacher earlier was handling 4th standard students, now she is going to handle 3rd standard who is going to getting promoted in 4th. So those teachers should interact like about each and every child. What is their learning level, where they need support or which area they are good at, right? And they also need to identify the students who need extra support. So all these things need a lot of preparation. That's why May is important. If you don't do all these things in May, what happens is that teachers are not prepared. They don't know where to start. They just start in some random benchmark. And then the students who are already behind in learning fall further behind, right? And when things are not ready, there will be a lot of chaos and stress. So this is why you have to make sure final teacher preparation and remedial planning happens in May. So I'm just going to quickly launch a poll. As a school leader or as a teacher or as a principal, what are your top priorities for this May? I've given few options. I'm just going to launch a poll here. This is multiple choice. You can select multiple options. Whether you want to train your teachers or identify students who need remedial support, I've launched the poll. Or you have to plan your remedial education, prepare classroom, or set academic goals. What is your goal for May? Or what are the areas you want to prioritize for May? 50% of the people have voted. I just wait for a few more seconds for everyone to vote. This is opportunity to reflect, and then all these learnings can be helpful in your school. Okay, I'm going to consider that most of you people have voted. I'm going to publish the result. So as you can see, many of you told that for your May, training and aligning teachers and curriculum assessment is important. That's great. That's a good start. And some of you mentioned prepare classroom and resources. Some of you also mentioned clear academic goals. So that's great to hear. So I would say whatever reflection you're having right now in this session, please keep a note of it so that you can go back to your school, share it with your peers as well. So I'm going to come back to the session. So this is about May. Next, June. June, as I said, once the school reopens, I'll also do a baseline assessment. Why? As I said, there's going to be 2 months of gap, right? Summer vacation happened. Children might not be, we cannot expect children to come with the same learning levels, right? There will be some gap or some lack in knowledge. So that has to be rectified. So this, whatever you're starting, the start of the year, going to set the tone for the complete year, right? So whatever you want to do, you have to do it right in the June, because June is where your school reopens. Set the tone right? So I'll just do a small case study here where the particular school didn't plan well in June. So what happened is that the teachers didn't understand what is the current knowledge level of the child, and therefore they had some confusion and the progress was very inconsistent. Parents are also didn't understand what is the schedules and what are the plannings upcoming for the next month. So there was some kind of dissatisfaction. Within weeks, there was a lot of absenteeism and learning gaps were happening because they didn't plan the June very well. Now, if you were that school leader, or if you know some school has been struggling like this, what will you do? So what a school leader should prioritize in June so that all these things will not happen. So I'm going to quickly launch a poll. If you are a school leader of that particular school, what you will do? The teachers don't know what's happening with respect to the child's academic knowledge. There were a lot of absenteeism. Parents were dissatisfied. Now here, what are the things you will prioritize for June? Again, this is a multiple option choice. So you can select multiple options. So whether you will conduct a baseline assessment or you communicate the calendar. This is the yearly calendar to parents, or you do some orientation which will help them to come back to school, monitor attendance, plan targeted support for students who are having learning gaps. What you will do? So here all options sounds absolutely right. But my question is, which one you prioritize? Which is the most important, or which are the two things which is important to you? Okay. So similar number of people have voted. I'm just going to publish the result. If you look at it, many of you said that you will communicate the academic calendar. Of course, it's very, very important, right? Now parents know, okay, my school is going to do this in June, this particular activity in July, this particular activity in August. They know what to expect and what is coming up in the coming months. Absolutely. And some of you also mentioned about plan targeted support for students who are having learning gaps. Yes, that's also important. Conduct baseline assessment. Yes. So to avoid all these things, you can do lot many actions. So again, keep this point at the back of your mind, so that whenever you're going back to your school, make sure that you are implementing this particular activity in your school to avoid all those challenges which I mentioned earlier. And let's come back to the session. This is about June. Now July, parent orientation and bridge learning. Let's understand why this is important and why July, right? Because you have reopened your school, you have shared the calendar with the parent. Now the parent is an important stakeholder because they are the one who's going to support the child at home, right? So now you have to do some orientation with them, so that you can communicate what happened in baseline assessment, what are your plannings for that particular child in the upcoming months. If you don't do that, what happens is that parents are very unclear. The school has started, I don't know what's happening, whether my child is studying or not. The child seems to be disinterested, and then students who need that early support will miss that as well. And students will also become disinterested, so they don't have any kind of co-curricular involvement as well. Now, what would you prioritize, right? So again, I'm going to launch a poll. What would you prioritize? This is a multiple option for July. As a school leader or as a concerned teacher, what is your prioritization for July? Whether you'll do a parent orientation or you'll do some bridge program for weak learners, because after baseline assessment, now you know where the child is currently, the knowledge level is, or you do some co-curricular activities, but that is also equally important, or you monitor the attendance and students settling. I've launched a poll. I'll wait for a couple of minutes for everyone to answer. If there is anything anybody want to share, please put it in somebody has put it in the Q&A. Conduct baseline assessment. That is for July. Yes, sir. 50% of people have voted. I'll just wait for a couple of seconds. I mean, like few seconds for everyone to answer. I'm going to publish the result. So if you look at it, many of you said that start bridge program for weak learners. Absolutely. Because you have conducted baseline assessment in June, you have the result in hand. You now know there are students who are lacking, so they need extra support. So you do that bridge program for them. Some of you also mentioned you conduct a parent orientation to tell them what happened in baseline and what is your planning for that particular student. Great. Launch clubs and co-curricular. Absolutely. All of those things are important, but whatever your school situation is, please pick that one and plan for July. So let's get move forward. So now we have explored many things like April, May, June, July. So in a handout, I'm going to quickly share another tab here. So this will be given as an handout post the session to all of you. I'll just zoom it a bit. So this is a template a school leader or teacher can use. So for every month, I put down the milestone and I put down few action. You can edit this. This is I consider as a sample school. You can add off certain items or change certain items. There is action. What you want to take? Who is in charge? What is the time period you're going to give? 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, what is the status? Is it done or is it in progress or is it pending or something happened? And you put down your remarks. So why this template is important is Now, as a school leader or the entire teacher or principal, whoever there in the school, now they know what is happening in April, May till the next March. So every month they have a particular milestone, and each milestone has a sub milestone. So everything is tracked and everyone has given certain responsibility and timeline to achieve that. So it gives everyone a structure and something to drive upon. So this is what the entire thing. As for so far, I have discussed only July, August, all these things I'll do it. You can do it whenever you have time, or if you want a part 2 of this session, we can conduct that as well. Now moving back to the PPT. So we've talked a lot about why planning is important, how do you plan for the entire year, and we'll look upon for few months as well. Now we'll also look upon how Varthana is going to support you throughout. What are some of the program Varthana has that helps your school throughout to achieve your whatever goal you have set or your school excellence. We have programs for each and every stakeholder in the school, be it like school leaders. For school leader, we have this webinar. So today we have the first webinar. Next one will be having, I'll go deep dive, and then you have school leader development program, particularly for school leaders, and finally school health report. I'll deep dive into each of this in detail in the following slide. Next, for teachers, we have again bi-weekly webinars, teacher certification program. For parents, we have parents insight survey. We'll look upon what is this each program is and how it's going to support you. First one is webinar. Like today's webinar, all the webinar has been like have some quarterly theme, and each theme will have a topic that is very, very crucial for school leaders and teachers. So you'll also get template, handouts, participation certificate post the webinar. So I'll quickly show a calendar here. What is the calendar for the upcoming month? I hope you can see. I'll just zoom it a bit. So today is 24th May. The next webinar we are planning to have it on 7th June. It's about building stronger schools. 21st June, you have again, how do you prepare students for the new academic year? 5th July, you have for technology, based on the technology. So again, we'll share all these things with you. So from this, you know what to expect and when to expect the webinar. Coming back, and then once the webinar is done, you can always go back to our Varthana YouTube channel. All the webinars we have conducted so far is there in our YouTube channel. If you have missed it something, or if you want to retelecast to your entire team, please go to Varthana YouTube channel. The entire webinar will be there. As I said, we have conducted so far 55 plus webinars. Please use this YouTube research for your team to enhance them. Coming back to the slide. Next is School Leader Development Program. This is one unique and particular program only for school leaders, because school leaders need to have certain set of strong leadership skills, innovation, and technologically they have to be strong, so that they will all have all the opportunity and necessary skill to address the challenges and drive the school to their excellence. So this particular program also offers a e-certificate. So this time we'll be focusing on vision-driven leadership, team building and development, operational and academic excellence, strategic growth, and sustainability. These are key focus area for this year school development program. So if you are part of our Varthana WhatsApp group, you will get all kind of information about this SLDP program, when it's going to start, what is the calendar, how do you have to register for it. If you're not, at the end of the feedback form, you can enroll, you can share your number. We will add you to the WhatsApp group, or else you can look at our website. Whenever this program is being organized, we'll get an intimation as well. The third one is School Health Report. This is Varthana design program that will help a school leader to understand what are the areas the school is doing really, really well, where they have to improve, where they have to strengthen, what support they need, what kind of product will help them to achieve that particular excellence. So here the focus area will be evaluating the entire school based on the student outcome. Infrastructure evaluation will be there, management evaluation will be there, and NEB 2020 readiness will be there. So this entire report will give a complete 360-degree idea where is your school standing with respect to Pan-India and how can you improve it. So this is again for school leaders. Next, teacher certification program. This is for teachers. Again, like last year also we conducted TCP program. This year also we'll be conducting. This will help the teacher to increase the capabilities and skill, and at the end of the program you'll also get a certificate. So this year we'll be focusing on 3 major focus area. One, how to do an instructional strategy effectively and how to set up classroom culture for positive and how to increase the engagement, and how to do or how to improve teacher leadership and growth mindset. If you're a school leader, please encourage your entire teachers to participate in this TCP program so that half of your burden is like carried by the teachers. They have or they develop the necessary skills and capacity. So again, if you're part of our Varthana WhatsApp group, you'll get intimation about it. If not, fill in the feedback form or look up our website or any social media page. You'll get to know about the TCP program. Last one is parent insight survey. This is particularly for parents, but the entire report gonna be useful for the school leaders. So through a survey, we'll try to understand what is parent perception about your school. What do they think that is really well in this particular school? How are they satisfied? And what are the areas they want to improve? So once, because parents are the word of mouth, right? Through them only you get a lot of increase in enrollment apart from marketing and campaign. So you have to understand the parents' overall satisfaction. This particular survey will help you do that. I'll just quickly show you Google form. So this is the form we'll be using to capture the parents' insight. Again, here we'll develop the entire Google form in different languages based on the need of the school leader and the location. So here they will be, we'll try to get the report from each and every parent studying across different grades. What is their satisfaction level? What do they think it's working good? And with respect to a lot of criteria, with respect to learning environment, how friendly the teachers are, what is the progress? So with respect to teacher, with respect to quality of education, with respect to management, with respect to the entire school environment, there are multiple areas we look upon to, we'll ask certain questions in this particular survey and we'll generate a report. I'll just give you a sample report here. I'll just zoom it a bit for all of you to look upon. So this is the sample report. Here you can see, this is like instruction page, right? Here you'll get to know how many parents have participated. Now this is a page where you will get to have a clear understanding, like where is your, according to your parents, how satisfied they are, what are the areas they really like, what are the areas they didn't like, and this is net promoter score. Who are those word of mouth parents who will go talk good about your school? Who are those passive? Who are the detractors? How to address them with respect to 4 different criteria: infrastructure, quality of education, school management, parent engagement. Where is your school standing? And we'll give you feedback as well. What are the highlights of your school? What are the areas of improvement? And then finally we'll close the report with the whatever is an area of improvement, we'll give suggestion for those things. So then this is the entire report will look like. So you'll get a clear idea about your parents and the areas you want to focus. So this is how Varthana program will support you throughout the year. Not only these 5 programs, we are also developing multiple programs throughout the academic year to encourage other stakeholders like students as well. So we'll keep you posted about any program which comes upon through our webinars, our website, or WhatsApp group. Please stay tuned to and get maximum use of all these programs. So now we are almost at the end of our session. First, let's do a quick summary of our session. We did understand like why planning is important, because it's a foundation for the entire academic year. If you plan well, half of your success is done. Half of your success you already reached. The remaining half is just how you're going to implement it. The second is these roadmap. I'll share a handout about the roadmap as well. How do you address each and every stakeholder? What are the certain areas you have to keep in mind and how to engage them? This I'll share as a handout to you. Third one, there are a wide number of programs offered by Varthana for various stakeholders. Please leverage that so that all the stakeholders are having that certain necessary skills and capacity, and that help them to achieve your overall goal for the year. So I'll also quickly talk about Varthana partners for the academic solution. We are partnered with Lead and Kian. Lead and Kian are 2 academic solutions. Lead helps you to have this integrated and innovative tech-based solution. If you want a good curriculum in which also has an integration of technology, that also helps the school to grow in English and coding skill, Lead is the best option. Kian, if you want to have a multimedia computer which also has lot of like vibrant experience and classroom and creative learning place, Kian is the best option. So if you want to know about any of this product or any of our programs which I've talked about, if any doubt, please reach out to our contact number given in the display or write it at hello@varthana.com. So I want to give a quick brush through what is the next webinar is all about. Next webinar will be talking about building strong schools through school health evaluation. I've talked about school health report, right? We'll deep dive into that particular session in the next webinar. It's going to happen in 7 June, same 4 p.m. onwards on the same Zoho platform. Here we'll be trying to understand how to you yourself gonna assess your school. What are the key areas you have to keep in mind? From those insights, how do you develop a strategy, and how this particular school health report of Varthana will support you that. Please stay tuned that so that you can fill it. I look forward for everyone for the next session as well. Hope the session was useful for all of you. So this is the very first session of this particular academic year. I encourage all of you to make use of Varthana's programs, so that not just you, your peers or your anyone you know who will be useful for this particular program, please encourage them to participate. Secondly, whatever you are getting to learn, whatever templates you are getting from this particular session, please share it with your peers and colleagues. Make use of it. Come back to us through our in our WhatsApp group or in any other session. Like, share your feedback, how it went well, or anything you want to share. Please share it. So we'll be very, very happy if you use all the things which we are sharing in the particular topic webinar. Sure, I'll share the YouTube link right away here itself. Preeti ma'am, I'll also send it in the WhatsApp group. Handouts, ma'am, next month, coming Monday, you will get the handouts. Whatever we have discussed in this webinar, you'll get a handout, and certificate you will get it by Thursday or Friday. Yes, Swapna ma'am, this particular session webinar is recorded. This recording will be published in our YouTube channel. If you are part of the WhatsApp group, I'll share that again in the WhatsApp group. If not, please join that, or else you can yourself search Varthana in YouTube. The particular webinar will be uploaded by Monday. So if you go to YouTube on Tuesday, search for it, search webinar Varthana. The first one will pop out will be this particular webinar. All our webinar are there. I guess nobody has any other doubt. Thank you so much everyone for participating in today's webinar. We are very happy to see all of you in today's webinar. We look forward for this entire participation in the next webinar. See you all soon in the next webinar, which is going to happen in 7 June. Stay safe. Happy weekend. Thank you all.